Ladies and gentlemen, my name is BrendenPlayz, and today I'm doing something a little different. Today I want to talk to you guys about the brand new wrestling show that is airing Wednesday nights on the El Rey Network. You may have heard of it. It's called Lucha Underground. And if you guys have been watching my streams lately, you know that I love this show. You know that I've been putting this show over huge. I've been praising it. I've been encouraging you all to watch the show. In fact, I think I probably got like 30, 40, 50 of you guys to actually tune into the show. And that's great. I've been promoting it on my Twitter. I even opened up a brand new section for it on my website for everyone to chat about on my forums. So I'm a big fan of the show. But I want to talk to you guys today about the show and just want to discuss the show with you guys and tell you guys why I think you should be supporting this show and why you should be watching this show. And if you haven't already watched the show, I'll kind of give you a little bit of a detailed analysis, I guess, on what the show's about and what you can expect from the show and what I do and what I don't like about the show so far. So, first of all, I want to really talk about the presentation of this show. This is Lucha Underground, so straight away you probably get the feeling that this is a Lucha Mexican kind of show, and it's not. It's kind of surprising. You know, I actually thought this was going to be... I knew it was English commentary, but I'll get into that in a moment, but I knew it was Americanized and it was in English, but I thought it would be all masked wrestler versus masked wrestler. You know, every match should kind of be like that, but it's not. It's really different. It's kind of a mixture and a hybrid of both, and that's something very different and exciting, but I'll get into that in a moment. But what I do like the most about this presentation of the show is it is so different. It's not TNA, it's not WWE, it's not WWE Light, it's not a glorified indie show, it's not an indie show, you know, piss poor. It doesn't look cheap, it looks really well produced, it's so well made, it feels like an actual TV show. And it kind of feels like it's a reality kind of show, mixed in, I don't know, I haven't really watched so much of the UFC, the Ultimate Fighter show or whatever, but it kind of feels a little bit like that as well, from what my memory of that show. So it kind of feels a little bit like that, and it's kind of mixed in together, and as well as wrestling as well. It doesn't feel like your typical wrestling show, so the presentation of it is so different, which I think is so refreshing to see. It's a different take on what wrestling could be done like, and honestly, this is what I thought Jeff Jarrett was probably going to do with the Global Force Wrestling, but I think it's probably way more well made than what Jeff Jarrett was going to do. So straight away, you know, this show feels different, it looks different and exciting. That's what we need. We need something different. So straight away, you're watching this show and you go, wow, this isn't what I expected. Wow, this is so different. Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's keep watching. And straight away on the first couple of episodes of the show, they introduced a lot of new characters and some of the wrestlers I have never seen before. And one of the main guys that they introduced was Ricochet, whose name is Prince Puma on the show. And he's a bit of like the top guy. He's like the main event guy next to Johnny Mundo, aka John Morrison. So we have Puma and Mundo straight away as our top two guys. And the main event for the first show was Mundo versus Puma. And that match tore the house down. That match was absolutely incredible. And a lot of you guys have messaged me saying, you know, Brendan, that match was fucking great. Thanks for recommending me that. It was really good. And straight away, like, you get the feeling that, okay, we've got all these brand new guys we have to try and invest in. This is the kind of the problem that I have with trying to get into new shows. It's so difficult to get into these new shows because it takes months and months to kind of learn everyone. It takes forever to learn everyone's story, their background, what's this all about. And it happened to me with the WWE. I still didn't know a lot of things about a lot of the wrestlers when I was watching WWE for 6 months after I just got back into the product. But in the first episode, we already knew Prince Puma's background, his heritage, why is he here in Lucha Underground, you know, what's he aiming to achieve. You know, we saw promos of him with Conan, who is his manager. So we saw him and Conan working out, and, you know, we saw him training. You know, we just straight away saw this insight into his character and developed his character like I've never really seen before for such a long time in a short 10-minute space. You know, we knew everything about Prince Puma straight away, and it put him over huge. You go, wow, this guy's awesome. Look at this. You know, they did all this work for him, all this promos for him. This guy's the real deal. And they kind of booked him as like the next big thing, the next big superstar in wrestling, and, you know, they've put him over huge. So straight away, you've gone from this guy being an unknown to this guy, wow, this guy's like the king of this show. This guy's freaking awesome. So they've done that so well. They've built that and presented their characters so well. So the character development is unreal. And it was the same with Johnny Mundo. Obviously, we know Johnny Mundo as John Morrison. He's been in the WWE, so we've been exposed to him before. But you get an insight of why is he here in Lucha Underground. And they call their show, or their wrestling ring or their arena, the Temple, similar to like the Impact Zone. So they call it the Temple. So why is he here in the Temple? Why is he wrestling here? What's he trying to achieve? So you get all this insight in this character. So you get this character development. And they did that with some other guys, or even girls, like the women. They even did that with one of the women on the show, which is, that's rare. We never really see more than 20 seconds devoted to a woman. But Sexy Star, one of the divas, or the women, like we want to call them women, but WWE kind of wants to make you think they're divas. But one of the women on the show, Sexy Star, she's there, and they put her over huge, and you get the feeling that, oh wow, this woman can kick some ass. She could even wrestle with the men, and she did. She wrestled one of the men on the show. She didn't win, but in the second episode, she did. So you get the feeling that, okay, maybe the women on this show, they're going to be booked as something even bigger. They may even go for the world title or something like that. So they put over their women so well straight away. It makes everyone seem like a bigger deal than what they may actually be. And it just really goes down to how well they've kind of made their storylines and their character development straight away. So that's what I've really enjoyed. And another thing, like their roster straight away, you're probably thinking, okay, who do they honestly have? Who is a free agent that we can really use? And there really isn't that many. But there is Morrison or Mundo. There is Prince Puma, who, those two put on a great match. But then you also have some veterans in there. Chavo's there, and he was really, really good in the second episode. Chavo was unreal. I'm not going to spoil it, but definitely check out the second episode if you haven't already. If you've seen the first but haven't seen the second, check out the second. Chavo at the end of the episode was unreal. And they've got another familiar face in Ezekiel Jackson, who now is Big Rick on the show. So that's, we are introduced to some of these familiar faces on the show, and we also has a lot of kind of lucha legends and Blue Demon Jr. as well, and as well as that, Brian Cage is coming in there as well, and rumors are that Alberto Del Rio, who we all know from the WWE, and I've criticized quite heavily in the past, but I think he's got a big future and he could be something, and it's something exciting for Lucha Underground. He's coming along next year as well, so the roster has potential. It has the lucha background, has enough lucha wrestlers there to, warrant the name and warrant the style, but also has these American wrestlers as well to kind of give you that mainstream exposure that we've seen them on before. You bring them into Lucha Underground, so you see some familiar faces, and you go, okay, I remember that guy who was in the WWE 3 years ago. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, he was pretty good. So you kind of go, yeah, I've seen them before. You feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more easier to kind of watch the show, and that's what I really like. Instead of having been introduced to 20 brand new different guys, I maybe have 10 different guys and 10 guys that I know. So that to me is a must, and they've done that well, and the roster that they've picked is very good. And one of the things that also really stands out for the show is the commentary. We have Matt Striker and Vampiro commentating for the show, and you really get the feeling that Matt Striker is so much free. He just has freedom on this show. You can see that he's enjoying himself on there. He's not being told by Vince McMahon screaming in his ear what to say. He's not, on tense, on edge. He can see he's just relaxed. He's chilling out. He can do what he wants, writing his own stuff. He's got all his preparation in front of him. He's just, you just feel relaxed. The commentary is so well done. They're not going off on a tangent, bickering about whatever the fuck. They're not promoting WWE Network every 45 seconds. And they're not screaming $9.99. They're not shoving Cena down our throats who's not even in the match. They are talking about the match. They're talking in relation to what's going on. They put over the storyline. They explain the storyline. And you get a feeling of what's going on, what's happening, why is this happening, and everything just culminates in the ring. So the commentary, I've got a high praise on it so far, and I wasn't not really a big Matt Striker fan, but he's really impressed me with his work so far. And him and Vampiro, they work pretty well together. Vampiro hasn't been so great so far as a color guy, but he's just kind of chipping in here and there, giving some experience. But I think he'll come into his own in the next few weeks. I think he'll get a little bit more comfortable on the commentary position, and I think him and Strike will work pretty well together. And I really just see this show as a potential show. Like, this show has a lot of potential to be something great. Is it going to be better than TNA? Is it better than Ring of Honor? Is it better than New Japan? Is it better than this? There's comparisons. Is it better than NXT? Better than the WWE? I don't know. It's so early to say, but this show has the potential to be an upcoming wrestling show, And I think this is a really good alternative to all of us who are dying for something different, dying for something new and exciting to watch. And this is new, this is different, this is exciting. You know, I'm a guy who doesn't really watch other shows. I mainly just watch the WWE. I tried TNA, didn't like it. Tried Ring of Honor, didn't like it. But now I can get into this show. It's different, it's exciting, it's a fresh new take on a genre that's been played out to death for the past 50 years. We've seen the same kind of shit for the WWE for the past 10 years. This is something different, a fresh take on wrestling, and you know, we can sit back and enjoy something different and exciting, and this show really is. And probably the best thing about the show, it is only 1 hour long, so when the 1 hour is finished, it leaves you wanting more. Whereas the WWE goes, thank God that's over, Jesus Christ, 3 hours, my God, it was forever, thank God it's over, my God, you're in the second hour mark, Jesus Christ, we still have 1 hour left, the main event's not even, it's an hour away, oh my God. This show though, you're watching it, you're halfway through the main event and you go, oh shit, there's only 5 minutes left in the show, man, what's going to happen next? And then there's always a cliffhanger. In the first episode's anything to go by, there's a big cliffhanger that leave you wanting more for the next show. So I really like how they've done that. And you know, the length of the show is important, and we've been oversaturated with wrestling for the past few years, with Raw going to 3 hours. We still have SmackDown, Superstars, we have TNA, we have NXT. There's so many wrestling shows out there. And I think they've done it well, and a smart decision not to go too much. Just leave it at an hour, and if it warrants the growth in the future to an hour and a half, 2 hours, then so be it. But for now, keep it at 1 hour, see how it goes. Maybe in a few years' time, if the show takes off, then you decide to upgrade. But keep it at what it is now, and it certainly kind of makes you want to continue watching. And you don't feel like it's a chore to watch. You feel like it's a fun 45 minutes out of your day. You can watch it. And it's exciting, it's a good show. So I want you guys to kind of support this show. It's a brand new wrestling show, and that's what we need. We need something different, a new take on wrestling, and that's what we get right here with Lucha Underground. I'm a big fan of it, and I just want to kind of create some awareness for this show. I'm not being paid by Lucha Underground to promote this show. I'm just a wrestling fan, and I'm a wrestling fan, and if I see something good, I want to tell everyone I know about it, and I see something good in this show. So I've been telling everyone on my live stream to check it out, so now I want to tell all my subscribers here to check out this show. This is the show you should be watching. This is the wrestling show you should be watching. Highly, highly recommend it. Every Wednesday night on the El Rey Network, or you can probably find it on YouTube as well, or if you watch, you know, go on watchwrestling.net or those other sites as well that you probably shouldn't be allowed to go on to, but you know, I'm going to say it for you guys. You can go on there and you can watch it online. So there is plenty of ways to find it online to check it out. So if you don't have the network, that's fine. You can find it elsewhere. So I think the show has a lot of potential for the future. I'm excited for the future of this show. And I can't wait. I'm really waiting for the next episode. I'm chomping at the bit. I cannot wait for episode 3. First 2 episodes have been incredible. Hoping the third lives up to the hype as well. So hopefully I don't hype this show up and a lot of you guys hate it. But I think a lot of you guys enjoyed it. I think 95% of the people that I've recommended this show to have enjoyed it. So that's it. That's all I got to say about this show, guys. Thank you so much for checking out Lucha Underground. I hope you guys do. And leave your thoughts and opinions on the show in the comment section down below. Let's create a bit of a discussion. And if you want to talk more about Lucha Underground, I'll leave a link in the description down below. I've got its own brand new section on the forums on my website. I would love for you guys to go and discuss the show with me over there, and we can chat about it. We can give our thoughts and opinions on the show so far. So that's it from me. Check out the show. I'll leave the link to the first episode in the description down below. Hope you guys check it out, and thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you all very soon. Continue the discussion about this video and everything to do with BrendenPlayz by using the hashtag BPZ.